Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Tara Jeffs, and I'm here to talk a little bit about the assistive technology evaluation process. The AT evaluation is influenced by either a model, theory, or framework. We've studied such examples that are found in Dave Eddyburn's article, Models, Theories, and Frameworks, Contributions to Understanding Special Education Technology. I think I've shared with you that our textbook definitely covers deeply into the HAT model, but education models often use, for example, my school district uses the SET framework. We've also read in Dave Eddyburn's article about EdTech points, ABC model, and A3 model. Before starting any AT evaluation, we must select an AT model, theory, or framework that will be used. So how do we do that? What determines the model or the framework? Well, some factors could be the purpose of the evaluation, the environment where the evaluation takes place, alignment of key components of the model and evaluation components, the desired outcomes or analysis of outcomes, the agency's policy and protocol. So step one of the AT evaluation is we have to define the problem. And as we've learned from Living in the State of Stuck, Marcia Scher's book, that we need to understand the person behind the technology. Assessments in the home, work, and community often must focus on specific goals or a goal. A functional analysis or the completion of a considerations checklist or guide often takes place to determine if an individual needs any assistive technology. Examples of these questionnaires or inventories include the FEAT model, the Functional Education Evaluation for Assistive Technology questionnaire, the matching AT and the child, and the MPT, which is matching persons with technology, which, as you know, is Marcia Scher's. In the schools, the principal reason for providing assistive technology is to enable students to meet instructional and non-academic goals that set forth in their IEP. So if a student has a learning disability in math, say for example dyscalculia, the AT evaluation could not focus on reading unless there was a reading goal that the student was not meeting. Reality check here, folks. Parents and teachers alike often ask about AT evaluations for common things like keyboarding skills, handwriting skills, and organizational skills. Unless there's an IEP goal that's not being met by that these types of skills are interfering with the success in completing the goal, then the AT evaluation should not occur at all. The bottom line is there must be a goal on the IEP that the AT evaluation addresses. The problem being the student is not reaching a specific goal. Reality check 2. Individuals with disabilities, parents, and teachers often see and hear about different devices and request an AT evaluation to get such devices. Example 1, the iPad that is the miracle tool for students with autism. And example 2 is voice recognition or speech-to-text software because the student can use a smartphone and just speak into it to type something. Bottom line is, pick the features, not the product. Step 2 in the AT evaluation process is gathering relevant information and data. Where to look, who to ask. Start by asking the individual, and then ask people in the individual's environment about strengths and needs, tasks, barriers to performance, learning environments, and the current level of performance in his or her customary environments. Conduct interviews with teachers, related service providers, speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, or family employers and anyone working one-on-one with the individual. What tools and strategies have been tried? What worked and didn't work, and why? Read reports and other documents such as IEPs, recent testing, evaluations, case files, medical reports, and etc. Conduct an observation, in most cases, an observation of the individual performing the challenging task in the customary environment provides valuable information on what the challenge is and what natural supports and barriers exist in the environment. Reality check here, folks. A student with an IEP could have related service providers that see the student. Don't be surprised if you ask the IEP team members and you don't get any feedback or response. If this happens, you have to just start asking the questions differently. For example, what kind of challenges do you see Billy having, you might ask? No response. Ask again. Does Billy have a chance to use a computer in your classroom or sessions? Oh, what programs does he use? Show evidence that you have exhausted all avenues in obtaining and gathering information. Generate possible solutions. Generate possible solutions based on the information collected. Identify tools, strategies, and supporting services which hold promise to improve performance, increase participation, and/or increased independence. This could take hours of research. Research your product catalogs on the internet, talk to vendors about devices and features, use professional resources, journals, and of course your Closing the Gap Solutions subscription. Consider AT across the continuum from no-tech, which are strategies, to high-tech solutions. Step 4. Conduct AT trials. Develop and implement an AT trial plan, including timelines and criteria for determining success, and collect measurable data on the impact to students' performance in the students' customary environments. This is often conducted within a defined time period in collaboration with others in the customary environment. The goal is to validate the effectiveness of the chosen technologies so as to provide greater confidence about the decisions. Reality check here, folks. You may not be responsible for conducting a trial to know what devices work best. If this is the case, provide resources and data collection templates that could be used to provide support and structure to those who are running the trial. For this class and your final project, you will not be conducting a trial. Step 5, AT implementation. Integrate successful, appropriate AT tools and strategies. Analyze results, determine most appropriate tools and strategies based on the trials or whether additional trials may be needed, and develop a plan to implement the recommended technology. Document required tools and strategies in an individual's case file or IEP, and if you're not directly involved in the implementation, be available to answer any questions or provide assistance or training. For your final project in this class, you will not be implementing assistive technology. You are simply going to be sharing the assistive technology report with those tools and strategies to be considered. So let's take a close look at preparing the AT report, since this is what you're going to do for the remainder of the next 2 weeks. You want to make sure your report has clear headings. You're going to have a name and agency. You should create a logo, On that cover page, make sure you have policies, procedures, or directions for what someone is supposed to do with the report. In the template I put up in Blackboard that we use in our school district, that cover page goes to the case managers, and that provides them step-by-step what to do with the information, what to do with the report. What I would like everyone to make sure that is on their cover page is the statement that's also found in the permission form, and that is, please be advised that this is a learning activity and the information produced in this final report should not be used as an official assistive technology assessment. It should not be used in litigation or in due process situation. You could share with your participant. It is a great start to tools and information report of what's out there for them. You want to make sure that you have a client or student demographic contact information section. That could have the individual's phone numbers, addresses, those types of things. And again, take a look at the examples in Blackboard. The next section is background information. What's their disability, environments where services are provided, everything that happens prior to the AT evaluation, being asked to complete the AT evaluation, previous report information, reason for the AT evaluation request, and things along those lines that provide a background case. In addition, another heading that would be used is existing supports in the customary environment. So what already is in place is basically what you're describing here. Anything, again, that builds the case for the report and the recommendations in the report. Resources like laptop carts or smart boards are in place, or a specific reading program, or work. There's natural supports within the work environment you could also share in this specific heading. Other headings, or what I refer to here as components of your AT report, includes the accommodations already in place. How is that different than items in the customary environment? Well, what accommodations are there already being made? Perhaps it might be preferential seating, it might be in pencil grips, it might be anything that's already there, and now they're looking for additional tools. The meat and potato of your AT report is often the observation and assessment. In our case, we probably won't have any assessment unless you choose to utilize a checklist that you come across. But you should have a brief observation of your participant. That should provide you with that observation. Could also be an interview in some of your cases, but that should provide you with an opportunity to get to know your client or get to know your student. The next heading is recommended tools and strategies. This is the meat and potato of your report. What are you recommending for this individual? You're going to list the accommodations, wording all for the recommendations. So if you suggest an augmentative communication device and it's a dynamic display screen, you would state a dynamic display screen augmentative communication device. You would put those words down. We'll help you also if you have any questions on how things should be worded. You would not put, for example, a Dynavox VMAX augmentative communication device, because we do not want to ever suggest in a report specific brand names. You can give examples, and you could share in the appendices or the attachments, but you do not want to enter specific names just in case those products are no longer available. Then we look at resources. After you make recommendations of recommended tools and strategies, oftentimes there are resources that share just a little bit more information about those tools and strategies, or share a website, for example, on training, some of those things. A miscellaneous section is always nice in case you have some of those odd things that don't quite fit into the other sections or underneath your specific goal. The attachments are tutorials, pictures, or examples. That's another category. And the closing statement or procedure. Make sure, I'm going to back up a second, but we talk about having a specific goal or focus for the AT evaluation. Make sure in this report somewhere, whether it's in the background information or whether in the observation and assessment, what's the reason for the AT evaluation? Why was there a request for it? In your particular case, yours is basically what's the reason for the AT evaluation. They didn't really solicit a request from you. Anyway, I wanted to let you know these are the components that you're going to be working on in the next few days. I'm working on a rubric for you, but you can go ahead and start through the template in Blackboard your AT report. Resources are found in Blackboard, and these are also useful resources. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate